Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today I want to take a look at the front suspension of the 240. So I'm going to bring this in the shop and take off the wheels and possibly put some new bearings in it. Hopefully, maybe. We'll find out. So let's get this in the shop. As you see, here is the hub. Okay, here's my brake. All right, this actually moves a little bit. The whole assembly moves, which what that means is the bottom ball joint is loose. It is a greasable ball joint, so hopefully I can grease it and it'll tighten up. If not, I'll have to order a new one and put a new one in. But that's what it looks like. It's barely moving, but it's moving just enough back and forth to where I don't want that, because as you drive and hit the brakes, it'll shudder. And that's what's going on right now. So we're going to fix that, hopefully. We got all greasable joints in here for the tie rod end and the bushing, or the ball joint in the bottom. So we're going to grease both of them really good and see what happens. Alright, the grease I'm using is all-purpose or general use grease, but it's also marine grade, so it really helps out towards having, oh, if I can get this on here. Alright, so after greasing these, you see there's not hardly any play in it now, so that's good. I don't see any play for just the spindle itself. It doesn't come in and out. I don't feel any play in it from the back. Alright, so I might have just fixed it with just some grease. So I'm going to move it around a good bit to make sure that grease gets all up in that ball joint, since it is, like I said, a greasable. While I'm down here, I'm checking my brakes, and they look pretty good. I got another set of brakes, but I'm going to wait. These are endless pads, which are outrageously expensive from Japan. They came with my Skyline R32 brakes that are right here. So I don't want to order those again. I ordered some Power Stop, really high performance for a Z32. And that's what really fits these calipers and rotors, because these are Z32 rotors. So I'm going to grease the other side, and like I said, I'm going to rotate, move them up and down and everything else, and we're going to see if this fixes this problem. But I can also see another problem. I've got 10-year-old tires that I'm rolling on, and it looks like I'm going to need to replace one from how it's been sitting cambered a little bit. So that's just the passenger side, and I haven't gotten to the driver's side yet. So I'm going to take a look at that and go from there. Alright, so I've got this one off now. Let's take a look at this. See if this does the same thing. This thing's tight. So that ball joint was just completely empty, but this one's quite tight all the way around. Brake pads, got a couple more 1,000 miles on it. So with the tires right now, I'm just going to switch the front with the back. So the camber wear is going to be a little bit different, and then when I get a chance, I'll go get new tires and replace these old crusted ones. Soon enough too, I'm going to take and start replacing these shocks on these coils. I've got one body, and I got to order 4 more or 3 more to replace these and make brand new ones again, so that when I'm riding, it's not bumpy and feels like, I don't know, I'm off-road jumping stuff. Because that's what it feels like right now with these eBay shocks. So I don't know what brand these are, I'll have to look. But I'm going to put some grease in the ball joint down here, and I'm going to put it in the steering rack end link right here, the tie rod, and then go from there. I need to check my oil again, check my water, clean up a few things. I'll probably take these wheels and throw some super clean wheel cleaner on them and scrub them down, and then maybe even put some polish on them. So get the barrels of them clean on the inside. That would be nice because they're super dirty. So I've got a little bit, so that's what I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to go clean those up, grease this, maybe clean these threads up a little bit, throw some WD-40 or something on them to get this rust off of them. Once we get done with the front, I'll check out the rear a little bit, because I want to replace all the bushings up front and then all the bushings in the rear and the struts all the way around, because I want to make this a solid, easy driving car. So whenever I turbo it, yes, I don't know if I've mentioned that to y'all, I do have a turbo kit for it. It's in the corner. It's going to get a T3, so it'll make a 220 simply. And then if this engine goes, we got another one that should make even more because it's a little bit better built. Now I'm going to rotate the assembly back and forth, make sure all that grease gets in there real good. Make it rotate itself around so as it sits here it doesn't shake as much, but it looks like I'm probably going to end up ordering new ball joints anyway. So, because after 10 years of sitting, not really 10, but you get the gist of it, they need to be replaced anyway. Most of the suspension does. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Put some more grease in here, rotate it a little bit more, swap the tires around, see how it drives, and hopefully that's a fix for that problem. Alright, you see how dirty this is? It just needs to be cleaned. It is originally black, but you see how much brake dust is on there? So, got my helper here, she's scrubbing my tire. So we're going to squirt this and yeah, we're going to make it clean. Clean, clean, super clean.
Me too.
Alright, have my super clean wheel cleaner. I'm going to spray down the barrel right here. I've got water right here.
And I'm just up here.
And my helper's cleaning up over there. I got a brush, and I'm going to brush the inside of the barrel. And then I'm going to spray it off, not letting it sit too long because it will start eating the outer layer. So, here we go. Alright, you see, it's not all the way polished like the outside, but it does have black on it. So what it did was it took off all the brake dust and everything else. Still got some up in here, but I can spray this off and let it sit for a minute and spray it back. Still some on the edge over here because I didn't wipe it down too much. And then we'll get the front again. Alright, so Got all the grooves in here cleaned up with my little detailing brush, which I've needed for a long time. I don't like all these grooves. I like tires without that many. Sprayed some more in here, brushed it all off, and it looks a lot better now. So it's time to do the other one. I sprayed all this down with WD-40 to try and help out some loosening of it. Looks like this paint came off back here. Alright, doesn't look too bad. Shine it up a little bit. But this is what I'm really working on. I got a broken stud here. I'm not worried about it. I'm not making a million horsepower. But these studs are dirty and this surface is dirty. So I got a little wire wheel. Just wire wheeling this up. Also, looking back here, everything looks pretty good. Don't see anything really wore out too much right now. Like I said, everything looks good. So we're gonna keep it this way. Like I said, I need to order some new shock bodies. These look like it says Super Stable maybe. I don't know what the heck brand that is, but we'll figure it out. We'll lower this thing down and make it work next time with better shocks. I'm gonna pop this wheel on and go to the front. I don't know if I showed you the finished product of the Super Clean wheel cleaner. So sprayed it all off, got it clean, scrubbed it, even between little grooves here which needed it badly because it was black. Back here I'm fixing to shine this up with that wire wheel a little bit, but all back here you see it has a little gleam of silver because that's how it came out of the box. So got all the brake dust and everything else off of here. Now these are going to go on the front. These were the backs and they've never been rotated. So it's time to rotate them. Well, a couple bad news things. I need one tire. I need a new set of ball joints for the front. I need to pull this front cover off because if you see this right there, that's all oil and it is on the underside of the car everywhere. You can see the power steering pump, it's all gleaming. Everything down there is gleaming. So I got an oil leak. That's the front cover. I think it's the front cover. So before we turbo this thing, before we do any more performance, I had to pull that front cover off and just fix that, which isn't much. My other thing is I'm running rich and I have a feeling it's because my temperature sensor right here doesn't work and it's got to be in the wiring or the ECU. So hopefully when I get to the ECU, swapping it, I should be able to fix that. So with all these problems this wonderful car has, just like every other 240 has, problems, we're going to see how it drives, come back on it, and start looking at the front cover and getting this turbo kit finished up and put on. So this is coming together. And then one day it'll have paint. And one day I'll take care of all these little squiggly marks. I'm probably going to have to sand that down with like 3000 grit or something and take care of that and then polish it back up. I'm not sure. But there she is, back on her wheels that are clean, ball joints greased. So yeah, I'm gonna order some ball joints and that'll be another video on the S13. So stay tuned for another episode of the S13 getting ball joints and possibly other suspension products. So, thanks again. Till next time.